Hey guys, it's Steven. Before the video gets started, let's shoot for 30 likes on this one. We've done it before, let's do it again. And if you're new around here, subscribe. I normally try to answer everyone in the comment section down below. Try to make this a friendly community. So, enjoy this one. Welcome to Downtown Sports. My name is Downtown Steven Brown, and in today's video, the overall feeling is confusion. And I'm not sure if that was a common feeling or whatnot, but I just didn't know whether to be sad or mad or disappointed or who to direct it towards. And I got some notes to go over in this video that I spent some time on last night. And I did a video last week trying to be reasonable about Mike Babcock, and I don't think I did that video justice. I don't think I did a good enough job on that video. I think I was just very upset, and I didn't cover both sides as well as I would have liked to. So in today's video, I'm going to try to cater to both sides. I mean, you definitely have enough people trying to tell you that it's Mike Babcock's fault. You definitely have enough people trying to tell you that it's Kyle Dubas' fault. Let's just go through the points that I wrote down on this list, just in order. The first kind of point that I have here on the list is that the players really didn't look like they gave a crap last night. It was Kasimir Kaskisuo's first NHL game, and for him to be caught in the middle of all of this is really unfortunate, but there was a clip before the game started where Mike Babcock was walking up and down the bench, patting everyone on the back, trying to get everyone motivated for the game, and it just really didn't seem to work. Mike Babcock is currently the fourth longest tenured active coach in the NHL, with only coaches like Paul Maurice, Peter Laviolette, and John Cooper holding their positions longer. And I hope that this point makes some sense. Good coaches have great systems. They have great strategies. But great coaches are able to adapt their strategies to pull the most out of the players that they have on their roster. We saw this in Vegas in Gerard Gallant's first year in their inaugural season, where he was able to get the most out of his players, get really good goaltending, and ride that all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. We saw this with Barry Trotz with the Islanders. He was able to step in, get really good goaltending, play a defensive-first style where they allowed the least goals in the entire NHL last year after losing John Tavares, where they were supposed to suck. Mike Babcock is currently the highest paid coach in the entire NHL. I do not care if Kyle Dubas acquired players that don't fit this coach's preferred playing style. He should be able to adapt his game to get the most out of his players regardless. And I'm not having the debate on which playing style is better, offensive first hockey, defensive first hockey. If you win 2-1, 5-4, it doesn't matter. Just win the game. But the coach should be able to identify which playing style his team best suits. To me, it just seems like trying to make this current Maple Leafs roster play defense is like trying to put this book in this cup. It just doesn't fit. And not only is he trying to put the book in the cup, but he's also not making any changes on the fly to help this. It's literally the same process, the same results, but expecting different ones for some reason. That's literally the definition of insanity. So now that we've talked about Mike Babcock, let's get to Kyle Dubas, because Kyle, you better step up here. And a lot of people have a hard time criticizing Kyle Dubas, but I'm going to do it anyway. He got absolutely hosed in the negotiations. Nylander, not so much so. Austin Matthews, a little bit, and a lot so with Mitch Marner. If he was really the boy wonder genius that everyone held him up to before getting the job as the Maple Leafs general manager, he would have gotten those three guys to take 5 to 10% less each. And what does that look like in the grand scheme of the salary cap? Well, about $1.3 to about $3 million. But I also trust Kyle Dubas to go out there and acquire guys like Justin Holl and Ilya Mikheyev to subsequent the cost of overpaying those superstars. You goofed up with the Garrett Sparks, Curtis McElhinney thing. Okay, you've already admitted that you were wrong for it. And it doesn't help that Mike Babcock is feeding every single option that you have to the Wolves, playing them exclusively on the second half of a back-to-back, playing them against division rivals in the second half of a back-to-back. That doesn't help either. But please, fix the backup goaltending position, because I cannot watch games that are back-to-backs. I just can't. There are 10 to 15 Maple Leafs games every single year now that are completely unwatchable. And for me, it all boils down to a clip that's been passed around Twitter a couple of times of Kyle Dubas speaking at an analytics conference. Boo-hoo, I used the word. And Kyle Dubas talks about the value of having an organizational buy-in. That at the core, there are 3 or 4 principles that everyone agrees on, and the rest are all compromises. He gives the example of a team that has a coach that doesn't really buy in to what the organization is trying to do, and then they replace said coach with someone that does buy into those 3 or 4 core principle values, and then the team sees a dramatic increase in performance over the back half of that season. Alright, it's not fair to Kyle Dubas, who took this job a year and a half ago, to not be able to appoint his guy to be the coach. And it's not fair to Mike Babcock, who's held this position for the last 4.5 years, that he all of a sudden has a new boss who's not supplying him with the players to fit the suited style that he wants to play. Do I think Mike Babcock is a bad coach? No. Do I think that he's a bad fit in Toronto with the current players and the current front office that we have? Yes. It's the cup and the book again. It just doesn't fit. And you know what I call that? I call that an unfortunate circumstance. But us as the fans are in the middle of this circumstance, and I would really like it if we weren't. So what are the options for the Maple Leafs right now? Because they're really tight up against the cap and they can't make much changes with the personnel. You have a general manager who you've groomed since before Mike Babcock was even an option. And then you have a Hockey Hall of Fame coach who doesn't really seem to fit the mold. I'm going to leave that up to you guys. So leave a comment down below and like the video if you did like it. Subscribe for more because more is always on the way. And guys, take care.